everyone. I hope that you are having a good day. I know there wasn't a 10 to 11 live, so some of you may or may not have gotten to sleep in, which is always a good thing, you know. For this class, you are going to need your communication challenges worksheet from the 10 to 11 that you guys turned in, and a pen or a pencil just so that way you can correct any answers you may have gotten wrong, or just write a few little notes because we're going to be going over some of it. So I hope everyone's having a good morning. I got like a really scare this morning because the UPS person knocked on my door really loud, and I was like, oh, today's the day. Someone's going to come and kill me. So it was just the UPS guy. Thank goodness. I get really scared about that. I watch so many like murder podcasts. I listen to so many murder podcasts and so many like ID that I always get scared. So, little fun fact about me. For those of you who just came in here, make sure that you have your communication challenges worksheet and a pen or a pencil. Amber Crumb said killers usually don't knock. I know. I'm just like so paranoid sometimes. Girl, I'm always like, ooh. So that's just something I always do. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. I know it's a really, really pretty day outside. I honestly wish I could, you know, just go to the river and just like chill, but yeah. Amber said I'm super into true crime. That's a good show. I like that one. I like IDs, like what are they called? Gosh, I can't even remember what it's called, but they're Dangerous Women. Yes, that one's a good one. I love those shows. My like favorite crime show is Law and Order SVU. Love SVU. Oh, yes. Alexis says same. I love the ID channel. Yes. Law and Order SVU is the best. Oh, gosh. For those of you who are new, because I do see a few new students, hello, my name is Alana. I am one of the instructors down at the South School. Just so you know, we do roll call at the beginning and the end of each live. So at the beginning of the live, like right now, you just type in your first name, your last name, which school you are going to attend or attending, and the time, just like the other ones. So welcome all of the newer students who haven't gotten to meet me. Oh, yes. Amber said, Deadly Women, Swamp Murders, Forensic Files. Oh, yes. Those are all good ones. Yes, Miranda said murder documentaries are live. Oh my gosh, girl, yes. I love them so much. If you haven't watched the new one with Zac Efron, with Ted Bundy, it's a good one, just to let you know. It's really good. So good. I'm just going to give y'all a few more minutes to just log in, make sure that you're here, get your communication challenges worksheet out, and a pen or a pencil. Ooh, Alina says, I love Crime Junkie podcast. Yes, some of them are so good. And then I look to the side of me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope these people next to me are trying to kill me. Little fun fact. Ooh, Mindhunters on Netflix is a good one. Thank you for that, Emily. Might have to watch that one next. I love murder podcasts. Crime Junkies, yes. I love crime shows. I used to be like super into the original NCIS, but it just, I don't know, like the show just got so long that I accidentally just like fell behind so bad that now it's just like I can't even catch up anymore. Brenna got me addicted to all of the true crime. Yeah, it happens. It's okay. Ooh, Marina said I listened to Sword and Scale. It's a true murder stories. Ooh, yes. I heard one podcast where they would They would just tell you the murder. They would actually tell you who did it first, and then they would tell you the crime. So I actually thought that was cool to like flip everything. All right, let's get started since it is 12:05. I have a brand new little whiteboard eraser, so no worries. We will write down the answers with you and we will go over everything. So I have to scoot that because I'm going to be writing. Okay, so number 1 on your communication challenges, worksheet. So what I'm asking for y'all today is just a lot of participation. If you know number 1, just comment it. Totally fine. If you get it wrong, it's okay. We're all learning. So just comment. I'll just say number 1 and I'll say the question and y'all will just comment the answers. Today's, the 12-1 is just participation. So just participate as much as you can. So number 1, correct this sentence. You need to clean this work area today. Replace you with, and I'm going to give you all a few seconds to, I'm going to give you all a few seconds to, comment a little bit. Because I know some of you are probably writing too, so it's okay. So this one was a little tricky. They all the fill in the blanks had a word bank. So I know it was a little tricky. It's okay. So whenever you want to correct this sentence, you need to clean this work area today. Replace you with, number 1 is try. Yeah, there was a little word bank at the end, but it's okay. Hey, it's totally fine. Number 1 is try, T-R-Y. So a little fun fact about everything is that there's 3 different languages that we need to learn. Of course, English, I'm not talking about any of that. There is I language, you language, and we language. You language is the harshest out of all the languages. So we typically don't use you whenever we are talking to someone else. So whenever we are doing this, whenever we're learning about this, how harsh is it whenever I say, so-and-so, you need to do better at taking notes? Or that sounds pretty harsh. I could say, hey, everyone, we need to do better at taking notes. Or, hey, everyone, I think that I have disappointed y'all, and I think that, we should all as a whole do better notes. See how that is kind of a little, see how that's a little bit better? So I language and we language are usually used in more communication, not necessarily you language. So just try to remember that whenever you have a confrontation with everyone, that it's best to use we or I language, not you did this, especially don't point. Marina said, wait, did no one else notice that there was 21 blanks but 19 words? Yes, and no worries. Just take your best guess on some of them and I'll tell you the answers. No worries, guys. So let's go on to number 2. Taking blame or accusations away from communication, blank the load for both the sender and receiver. So that is number 2. We're talking about number 2. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to comment. I know some of you might be writing a few little notes or, Good job, guys. So number 2 is lightens. So taking blame or accusations away from communication lightens the load for both the sender and receiver. So that's what we were kind of talking about a little bit with you language, because you language adds blame to something. So whenever I say you need to take better notes, that's me blaming you for not taking good enough notes. Now, if I said as a whole, we need to take notes, I'm putting blame on not just one person, but as a whole group. And using I language, I'm putting the blame on myself because everyone's not taking good notes. And I'm not saying that y'all are taking good notes. It's just a little example. But that's what I'm talking about, the I language and the you language. Oh, Tabitha, thank you. Sarah Briggs, they're Sarah Briggs earrings. She makes sterling silver earrings, and they're actually fairly cheap. So she's out of Waxahachie, Texas. Okay, so number 3. Handling communication challenges can be unexpected. Keep your blank and take a deep breath. Oh, I gave you all the second one. I'm sorry. I'm the worst at this. I'll give you all a few seconds to comment. Good job, you guys. I see a lot of the right answers. So number 3 is cool and deep breath. So handling communication challenges can be unexpected. Keep your cool and take a deep breath. And that's true with a lot. A lot of us aren't expecting to get in a communication challenge with someone. And a communication challenge can just be a little minor conflict, or it can be a big fight. So whenever we're dealing with that, you have to just take a deep breath and be like, okay, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe let's just talk this out. Maybe, I misunderstood the tone of their voice. Maybe they were just frustrated at something else, not me personally. So maybe that was an attack at me. So we have to look at that whenever, especially being hairstylist. Okay, so number 4, just take your best guess. I know this one wasn't on the word bank. So Monica asked a good question. Is there going to be open questions or fill in the blank on the state board exam? Monica, there is not going to be any fill in the blank. It is all 100% multiple choice. So number 4, the art of blank is the language of leadership. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to, just a few seconds to comment, Some of you guys' guesses are very, very good. So I personally thought it was communication, or you could put we language, because we language is what a leader does. A leader does not blame one person. A leader blames themselves for not being able to teach you, or a leader blames everyone, So it's either communication or we language, either one you would like. That was one of those tough ones, but great job. I love all of you guys' participation. That's awesome. So, number 5. When you feel someone is being unfair, it is easy to let your blank get the best of you. Stay calm. Nobody blanks. Good job, you guys. Good job. I'm going to keep giving you guys a few seconds to comment, so that way, I know everyone is just writing either some notes or something. So number 5 is emotions or wins. So when you feel someone is being unfair, it is easy to let your emotions get the best of you. Stay calm. or else nobody wins. So it's emotions and wins. And that's very, very true. I have overreacted in situations where it wasn't even that. It was not even where it was just a misunderstanding and I overreacted. I did not stay calm and nobody won because they were upset. I was upset. So sometimes you just got to stay calm, and it happens a lot. It does happen a lot. Okay, so number 6. When clients lash out at you, try to remember that something blank to happen to them before they came in. Try not to take it blank. This is a huge one, so I'm going to let y'all comment a little. But this is very, very important for us to remember as part of the service industry as well. Great job on the participation, you guys. I love the participation. Keep up the participation, guys. So number 6 is unrelatable and personal. So when clients lash out at you, try to remember that something unrelatable to happen to them before they came in. Try not to take it personally. I remember I got a client and it was a little perm client, and you know, everything I did was just, she hated everything. She was like, you're wrapping it. I don't like the way you wrapped it. I didn't like this. I didn't like this. She was a pain in the booty the entire time. She just wasn't, you know, I was just like, why are you so upset at me? And then I was done with the perm, you know, I styled it for her because I was like, maybe if I styled it, you know, pretty nicely, you know, diffuse it and everything, it'll make her happier. And she looked at me and she said, thank you. I just lost my house today. It got foreclosed and this is the last money I had and to pay for this perm. And, you know, I feel truly bad for what I was saying to you and everything. And that's one of those cases where I didn't know her house was foreclosed. You know, I'm just trying to do this service on this person. So it's a great way to know, you know, you can't let someone's outside issues affect your personal issues. So, I mean, I'm not gonna be honest, I was mad the whole entire time. I was like, why is she being so mean to me? I didn't do anything, you know? So we have to really, really think about that, you know? If the client's upset, why are they upset? Truly, why are they upset? Did I do something, or is it merely something else that happened? So we got to remember about that. We got to remember not everything is our fault. So just remember that. Okay, so number 7, blank the client or telling the client not to be angry or upset should be avoided to diffuse disagreements. So this is a big one. Ooh, I cannot stand whenever someone's like, you need to calm down, or, oh girl, no. Shh, you're not upset. You're not upset. Oh, I get so upset. When someone tells me not to be angry, or don't be angry, or don't be upset, like that it makes me more angry. I know everyone does that, so I know everyone gets mad about that. Yeah, a lot of people hate it. I know whenever someone tells you, don't be mad, I'm like, that makes me mad even worse. It makes me even more. So number 7 is interrogating. Interrogating the client or telling the client not to be angry or upset should be avoided to diffuse disagreements. So that is what, you know, that's something huge that we need to do. Like if a client doesn't like their hair, you don't need to tell them, calm down, girl, it looks great. You're just overreacting. You know, if the client's upset, the client's upset. And we don't need to interrogate them like, what happened to you? Why are you upset? You look mad. Why are you mad? You know, if the client doesn't want to tell you, the client doesn't want to tell you, you know. It took that client, that perm client, all the way until the end of that perm service to tell me why she was being, you know, why she was being a little toot, you know. Okay, so number 8. Remain warm and blank. Your positive can-do attitude will be contagious and help you resolve blank things. So I'm gonna wait for you guys. And if you have like a little something that you would like to say, a little comment that, you know, pertains to the lesson, I love to see y'all's participation, y'all's comments. I love to see, you know, sometimes you'll have great things to say. So if you'd like, also comment a little thing on, you know, a little story that you had with a client. You know, sometimes stories help people kind of understand things a little bit better. Oh, my marker just ran out of ink. I hope y'all can read for you. I hope y'all can. So, if y'all can't read this, just let me know. It's a little bright. Let me see if the orange is any better. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the orange is a lot better. Okay. So number 8 is approachable/resolve. Yeah, the orange is way better, yeah. So remain warm and approachable. Your positive can-do attitude will be contagious and help you resolve things. I know whenever in the mornings, I'm sometimes not a very like good morning person. I'm just like, ugh, you know. I remember one time I was in such a bad mood and Kim just looked at me and said, "Good morning." And I just couldn't help but smile and it put me in a good mood. So, you know, your attitude can always affect how other people see the world. So, you know, if you're in a bad mood, a bad mood is like a cold. You can spread it to anyone, even if that person's in a great mood. So just remember that, you know. A positive mood can be spread like a cold too. If you're over there like just laughing and smiling, you know, you're going to make other people laugh and smile. So, you know, always remember that. So number 9, the first bullet. So I'm going to like try to do the first bullet on number 9. So we're going to do the matching part, and this is going to be the first bullet. So it's saying, I'm right, you are wrong. So what is the answer to that one? I'm right, you're wrong. What's like the correct way to actually say that? I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to comment it. Hey, y'all are getting a little ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. I see that y'all are posting all of them. I just need one letter. But good job on thinking ahead. So the first little bullet, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds. I hope y'all can see this orange marker. I'm sorry. So the first bullet, good job, guys, is going to be E. So the correct way to say I'm right and you're wrong is let's clarify the issue and resolve it together. So whenever we say that, we're just kind of like, you know, like it just might be a huge misunderstanding, not you're wrong, I'm right, because that's just the way it is. So number 9, first bullet. Number 9, second bullet is anger, defensiveness, frustration. Those are qualities we don't want to see or don't want to have. Those are very just kind of not good qualities, especially to resolve a conflict in. So number 9, second bullet. I'll give you guys a few seconds to comment. Just put what y'all have or what y'all think. It's completely fine. If, you know, if they're wrong, we're all learning, so it's okay. Okay, so number 9, second bullet is going to be C. So anger, defensiveness, frustration. The qualities you really want to have instead of those are willingness, respect, openness, and cooperation. And you especially want those whenever you're trying to resolve a conflict. So let's see. Okay, so the third bullet on number 9. I'll give you guys a few seconds to comment that. Remember, this is just participation. Even if you get it wrong, it's okay. We're all learning. So it's completely fine. Just put what you have. I'm going to try to make this a little bit better so y'all can read it. There we go. So good job, guys. Number 9, third bullet is going to be A. So instead of having an argument or a conflict in public, you want to do this in private. I know whenever, like me personally, whenever someone calls me out in public, that's just going to make me even madder. If you pull me to the side and say, hey girl, you know, I don't like the way you said that, you know, and I will always be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I didn't mean that. And we can talk it out. But if you do it in public, oh, you're going to get a Capricorn. Let me tell you, I'm a Capricorn. You're going to get a Capricorn. So just a little warning. Okay, so the fourth bullet on number 9. So the fourth bullet on number 9. Instead of frowning, crossed arms, clenched fists, and standing too close, what are the qualities you want to have? You always have to remember that your body language affects people. Even if, you know, some people just roll their eyes, like to me, that's a negative. I'm going to be like, oh, okay, you know. So just remember that your body language and frowning, your crossed arms like, you know, clenched fist, that means you're ready to fight with me. And standing too close to me, that means you want to get in my face. Those aren't good habits to have. So instead of that, you want to D, smile, strong but relaxed posture, sitting eye level from someone. So if I was super, super tall and I was like towering over you, you know, that wouldn't feel as good as, you know, maybe that person needs to sit down, you know, and talk to me like that. And we both need to sit down and talk to each other like that. So that way it doesn't feel like you're towering over me. So think about that, you know, think about, for those of you who are tall, think about, you know, how you might be portrayed to the other person and vice versa. So just remember that. So the fourth, so the fifth bullet on number 9. Instead of you blaming, debating, and shouting, you want to, let me give you guys a few seconds to type y'all's answers. So remember, like I said, that you language, it's very blaming. It's not a good language to use whenever you're trying to solve a conflict or, you know, try to resolve a misunderstanding. So that you language is not a good one to do. So you guys are right. No, the fifth bullet on number 9 is B. Without using I statements, describing the problem without debating, using a normal tone of voice. So instead of saying, you made me feel like this, you could say, well, I felt personally that, you know, maybe you could say, I felt misunderstood whenever, you know, that was said, because I did not say you at all. So there was no blame. I just said, I felt a little angry whenever this phrase was said. So that's a little bit better. And the last bullet on number 9, the last bullet. Instead of appearing distracted and interrupting, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds. Whenever someone is telling you their feelings, don't ever interrupt them, because that just means to them, that person that's trying to explain their feelings to you, that you don't care. Like you're just trying to get your point across. So that last bullet is F. Listening, understanding, listening for the point and observing the body language. And I love that term, listening to the point, as in you want to be an active listener. There's active listening and then there's passive listening. Passive listening is that phrase that goes in one ear, out the other. They're not really listening, but they're hearing you. You naturally hear things unless, unfortunately, if you're deaf, you don't, but you naturally are going to hear things. So passive listening is you're not actually truly listening. Active listening, that means I am hearing and thinking about the words that are coming out of your mouth. So whenever you're trying to resolve a conflict or resolve a misunderstanding, you want to actively listen to that person. So number 11, professionals who communicate with blank to maintain positive blank with clients and coworkers will be the first to achieve. So number 11. Okay, so number 11. Oh my goodness, are we on number 10? Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Okay, sorry. I'll just erase that. Sorry guys, number 10. Thank you for telling me that. So number 10, blank the client for working with you to find a solution and blank for any inconvenience. Quarrels would not last so long if the fault were on blank side. So sorry. So number 10. Thank you for catching that. So this one is 3. Yes. So this one is 3 blank. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to comment. I know a lot of you didn't see the word bank. It's okay. It's completely fine. So, I'm glad that y'all thought, without the word bank, I'm glad that y'all thought on these issues to, I'm glad y'all thought a little bit more on this, because sometimes without a word bank, you got to really, really think hard about these situations. So very good, you guys. Number 10 is thank, apologize, and 1. So number 10, thank the client for working with you to find a solution and apologize for any inconvenience. Quarrels would not last so long if the fault were on one side. So everyone thinks that, whenever a quarrel happens, it's me versus you. Okay, so it's your fault. It's you. Every blame I put on there is your fault. But really, a misunderstanding can be both sides. I misunderstood, but the other person may not have directly told their feelings. So, it's on both sides. But a lot of people, whenever they're quarreling or fighting, quarreling is another word for fighting, whenever they're doing that, they always think it's the other person's fault, not, oh, how did I misunderstood? How did I do this? So really, and also you want to thank the person for always, someone and you are talking about a conflict, thank them for talking to you about this instead of just blowing you off or just holding a grudge, especially a client. Sam said, so true, there's always 2 sides to each story. Yes. So maybe if you told a person, this is my side of the story, I would have been like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. Thank you for explaining that to me. This is not how I thought it was. So it's very, very important to thank that person for at least talking it out with you, because not a lot of people, and I've noticed not a lot of people do. A lot of people would rather hold a grudge with you than talk it out and resolve this conflict. So I always thank people and I always apologize if I'm in the wrong or there's a misunderstanding, I always apologize because that's on me for not explaining myself or my feelings correctly. So just always remember that there's always two sides to one story and both parties can be wrong. So number 11. And this is great for anything. This worksheet is not only with coworkers and families. This is not only with coworkers and families. This is with everything that you do. Grocery stores, family members, friends. This is, yes. And Brenna made a great point. Don't make someone feel bad if they do apologize. Don't be like, yeah, girl, you know, don't ever make someone feel less of that person. Don't ever be like, I made her apologize. Yeah, she apologized to me. You know, don't ever make that person feel like that because they might not want to apologize to you the next time. So number 11, professionals who communicate with blank to maintain a positive blank with clients and coworkers will be the first to achieve. So number 11. Yes, Brenna said don't throw it in their faces, basically. If they apologize to you, that either means they understood your side of the story and now they're ready to mend it with you. So don't think of apologizing as, oh, they apologized, they lost the fight. No. That means they understood your feelings, they understood your part of the story, and they understood where they messed up. So don't ever think that if you apologize, you lost the fight. So number 11, it has two links. So professionals who communicate success to maintain positive rapport with clients and coworkers will be the first to achieve. So very good, you guys. And I want to read you the definition of rapport because, you know, that I knew what rapport meant, but whenever I read this definition, I was like, oh, wow. So rapport is a close and harmonious relationship in which the people concerned understand each other's feelings and ideas and communicate well. That is huge. The communication well is very, very important. There was not 3 blanks on mine, so rapport is very, very important to have. A close and harmonious relationship. You know, a good rapport with someone, you don't have to be mega, mega, mega close where you two are going out, you know, as friends, but having a good rapport with someone is just good communication. So that is very, very, very important. Number 12 is a little weird. Number 12. So whenever, number 12 was just the 7 steps. Number 12 is the 7 steps. So we're going to kind of go over each one of those steps. So we're going to go over each one of the 7 steps to kind of, and we're going to even go over a little example of each one. So number 1 is get ready. So whenever we're talking about getting ready for like a miscommunication or anything, the first thing is to take a deep breath to get calm and acknowledge the issue. So you have to be able to be calm, first of all, and acknowledge the issue. If possible, move into a private location. So if we're in a salon, there's not really a lot of private locations. So that way you could be like, hey, you know, don't do this, don't do this. So if possible, move into a private location or as private as you can. This is part of the get ready step. Thank the client or coworker for bringing the problem to your attention. Maybe, you know, the example I want to use on this one is that maybe a client is like, oh, so-and-so, my last hairstylist didn't make me as bright as I wanted to. You can maybe say, oh, well, I'm glad you brought that to my attention. So you would like to go lighter. That's a great way to start out that conversation. Don't think whenever the client is like, my last hairstylist didn't make my hair light enough. Don't think, oh, she's just going to go talk trash about everything I do now. No, just make sure that you guys, you acknowledge the issue. She wasn't trying to trash talk her other stylist. She was just trying to tell you guys, oh, well, she just didn't make me bright enough. Like, that's why I'm here. I want to be brighter. So do that. The second step is identify the problem. Gather the facts associated with the problem. Ask the client or coworker to explain his or her point of view with specific details. Separate facts from opinions as you gather your thoughts and information. Focus on observable behavior, not conclusions about that behavior. So whenever you're identifying the problem, you want to gather facts, not opinions. My opinion is that, I don't know, like an opinion is that, oh, I don't like the color orange. Of course I love the color orange, but opinion, that's an opinion. A fact is the color orange is very bright. That's a fact. The orange is very bright. So explain facts from issue, facts from that. Identify the problem. So you're looking to this person and being like, okay, why are you so upset? Why, we use the lady who wanted to be brighter. Well, what are the facts associated with the problem? Maybe she didn't show a picture. Maybe, maybe she was doing an unexpected, an unrealistic picture. Maybe she had really, really, really dark hair and she wanted to be platinum blonde in one session because that happens a lot. So, maybe that could be it. Maybe the hairstylist was just trying to, maybe she was just trying to get her in a few sessions and she told her like, oh, we need about 4 or 5 sessions to make you this bright. So, that's identifying the problem. The problem could also be maybe she didn't even want to be that blonde. Maybe she just liked the haircut in the picture. So identify that problem and really, really actively listen to that person. So number 3 of the 7 steps is generate and compare opinions for the solution. There is usually more than one way to solve a problem. Ask the client or coworker for ideas before suggesting your own. Consider all of the options, regardless of how unrealistic some might seem. Then determine the most likely to succeed option first, while taking into consideration the consequences. The final plan may be a combination of several options. Number 3, I want to say, is the compromise part. So you want to let them say, she wants to be brighter, okay? Our client wants to be a lot brighter, like platinum blonde, and she has, the person that did her, she had one hair, the stylist before gave her a level 5. We all know how that works, So maybe a compromise, you don't want to burn off her hair, she just did it probably last week or something like that, something crazy. So you want to hear her solution. So how would you like me to go about this? And of course, even if it's crazy, even if she said, I'm going to be platinum blonde today, that's her compromise to the problem. So number 3 is generate and compare options for the solution. So you're just listening to theirs, even if it might be crazy, even if she's like, no, my compromise is just going platinum blonde today. I don't care. Like that might be, her compromise. So number 4 is determine your course of action. This is where you say, well, as a professional, I don't think you're going to take a few more sessions. We can get you lighter, but we can't really get you platinum blonde today. Now, what I can do is give you a good deep conditioning treatment, a nice haircut as well, and it'll look, I'm sure you'll love it. And we can book another session, and next session we can be blonde, and we can start lightening you up to save the hair's integrity. That's all you have to say. And sometimes they'll be like, yes, sometimes they'll be like, no, I want to be platinum blonde. So you and that person have to come up with that course of action. So that's number 4, is determining yes, no, okay, which compromise do we want to do? Number 5 is act on the problem. So do what you planned on the compromise, whether it's taking her platinum blonde today, or just doing that little nice, get her brighter, a nice haircut, a deep conditioning treatment. So whatever you two decide. Follow through on the course of action you and your clients or coworker agreed to. Check in periodically to make sure they're on the same page. There might be a misunderstanding and they might think, oh my gosh, I thought I was getting platinum blonde. You're putting foils in my head. I thought that's what we were doing. So make sure that you're checking in. Just be like, we're not going to get you platinum blonde today, but no worries. In a few sessions, we will get you that platinum blonde that you want. Make sure that you're checking in, because clients don't understand. If you're putting their hair in foils, they think, oh, she's taking me platinum blonde. So make sure that you're reassuring your compromise. So number 5 is act on the problem. Number 6 is check the progress of the plan. Evaluate how well the plan is working. If it isn't, don't feel as if you have failed. What you learn may help you identify the problem more precisely. Maybe you'll find the new options or see more realistic view of what will work. Make another plan and keep trying. So maybe, you told the client, I think it'll still take a few sessions. I do not feel comfortable taking you platinum blonde today, but we could do a nice deep conditioning treatment and a haircut and throw a few foil packets in there because you just did them a few like last week. I wouldn't even put the foil packets in there, but I would just tell them you could do a deep conditioning treatment and a nice haircut, So if they're just like, after they're like, yeah, and then you get them draped and everything, and they're like, yeah, that's a good idea, and get them draped. And then they're like, I don't like that idea. No, I want to be platinum blonde today. And if you're not comfortable, sometimes the client might be like, well, thank you for your time. I listened to your advice, but I just want to be platinum blonde today. And they might leave. And that, that's a lesson to be learned. Some clients want what they want. Another thing is that, they might be like, okay, I'm ready, okay, I like the haircut and the deep conditioning treatment. Let's do it. And then, you put the cape on and you're trimming it up and they're like, never mind. So sometimes that happens. And sometimes you might want to be like, so. Number 7 is celebrate. Thank the client or coworker for working with you and apologize for any inconvenience. You want to thank them if they were like, okay, I didn't like the haircut, but now that you explain what a tone is to me, I might like my hair better, and you might want to tell this, thank you so-and-so for letting me do your hair today. I understand that today was a long conversation and I'd love to educate my clients. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. I'm sorry for not being able to take you blonde today, but I just think that would take you platinum blonde today. I just think that would completely destroy your hair, and I do want to keep your hair's integrity. So number 7 is celebrate, not like a, woo, we finished this conversation, but like a, thank them for working it out with you and thank them for any inconvenience, apologizing for any inconvenience. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so number 13 has 3 blanks. Number 13 has 3 blanks. The unmentionable barrier to communication is blank. This means working in close blank and having contact with clients. Be vigilant about personal hygiene. Professionals must pay close attention to it, even if it's blank, to talk about amongst coworkers. So number 13. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to go through that to make sure that you are commenting. Good job, you guys. So number 13 is hygiene, proximity, and uncomfortable. So the unmentionable barrier to communication is hygiene. This means working in close proximity and having contact with clients. Be vigilant about personal hygiene. Professionals must pay close attention to it, even if it's uncomfortable to talk about amongst coworkers. So I know that whenever we're talking about personal hygiene and that, you know, especially if a coworker, like let's say one of your fellow stylists, you know, maybe forgot deodorant that day, or maybe they don't use deodorant, you know, you have to be the person. We're all working in super close proximity, especially at the school. Like y'all are like an arm length away from each other. So y'all are working pretty close. And if the stylist next to you, you know, has a little BO, you know, maybe it's hot that day, or maybe they accidentally forgot deodorant, you know, be vigilant about, and at least tell them, you know, at least pull them in the corner and say, hey, I think you might have accidentally forgot deodorant today. You know, I just wanted to let you know. You don't have to say you stink, please go put deodorant on. You could just say, hey, I think you accidentally forgot deodorant today. So that's a quick and easy way. I would not be upset if someone told me that. But if someone told me, girl, you stink, go put some perfume on, like I would be upset by that. But yeah. Taylor said, my anxiety sweat is the worst. I'm constantly applying deodorant. Yes, it happens. And especially guys, because we are close to each other, especially we are close to our clients. So if your client, you know, stinks and your client is not, you know, don't make faces like, ugh, ugh. You know, if they stink, they stink. One thing I do know is that a little thing I was taught was put Vicks Vapor Rub just a little bit in the inner corners of your nose, and that's all you smell. So, you know, if you have a stinky client, just, you know, go to the bathroom and put a little Vicks right here. You'll smell the Vicks. You won't smell the client. You know, just make sure that, you know, you're trying everything you can just to be nice. Don't be like, and, you know, so yeah, Botox in your armpits, that actually helps with the sweating in your armpits. It's a real thing. So yeah. And also, you know, I've seen so many people where their client stinks, or, you know, and they're just like, a client can see you in the mirror, guys. I hope you realize that. Like, a client can see you. Another little trick I've learned whenever like I don't want to smell something that stinks is I will use either spearmint gum and chew on it, or a very strong mint like an Altoid. But the number one thing that always worked is Vicks Vapor Rub in the little bit in the nose. So yeah. Maria said, yes, be professional. Guys, you got to be as professional as you can. If someone stinks, you know, but also guys, remember like your personal hygiene as well. If you look like you just rolled out of bed, you know, like that's actually, like, think about your personal hygiene as well. McKenna, yeah, I think people only get it when they have like you get Botox in your armpits. It's whenever you have over excessive sweat in your armpits. So it might be over excessive, or like it's like an uncomfortable thing. So you can get it in your armpits. Yeah. But you know, you have to remember about your own personal body. Like I accidentally one day forgot to I accidentally forgot one day to put deodorant on, but I did what Lindy just suggested, and I did have, I have purse deodorant, so I just put a little on, and it worked perfectly. You know, no one noticed that I forgot deodorant that morning because I had a little bit, especially for guys who are, for people who are smokers, put a little perfume on or something, you know, to kind of not smell like an ashtray. You know, just put a little perfume on, maybe chew on a mint, you know, just a little something, so that way your client doesn't feel uncomfortable or anyone around you. Remember, guys, people around you might feel uncomfortable about certain things. So Lindy suggested an amazing thing. Go to the dollar store and keep some hygiene products in your station. That's perfect. I always kept in my station deodorant, body spray, and mints. So, I mean, if your client has stinky breath, you know, offer them a mint. Don't say you need this mint. Just be like, oh, would you like a mint? And sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they'll say no. If they say no, then just don't say anything. Not be like, I think you could really use the mint, you know? Yes, and Lindy also said you're being nice offering a solution, you know? So, oh my goodness, I cannot stand whenever someone has food in their teeth and they're walking around all day with this food in their teeth and no one told them anything. I had that happen to me, like, before we left. I had a huge thing of spinach and no one told me, and I was like, okay, guys, thanks a lot. But be nice and just pull them aside and just say, hey, you know, you have something in your teeth. You know, it's not going to be, I'm thankful for whenever people tell me that. Every time my boyfriend offers me a piece of gum, I look at him and ask if he thinks my breath stinks or something. Sometimes offering someone a piece of gum is just like, I get this, and you like, sometimes whenever I offer a piece of gum, it's not because I think your breath stinks, it's just because I have this piece of gum and I have extra, so I have this piece of gum and I have extra, so here you go. Like, that's also, I'm just trying to be nice. So don't think if I ever offer a piece of gum that I think your breath stinks. Some other tips I have, you know, if you try to control your facial expressions, the Vicks Vapor Rub saved me so much sometimes. The mints and the gum, also keeping deodorant in there because a lot of us are nervous sweaters. I also kept a towel at my station sometimes, not for the client. I kept a clean towel because my hands would sweat too, and I didn't want to drop everything, so I did that as well. And guys, while we're kind of discussing a little personal hygiene things about number 13, y'all can do final roll call. So yeah, y'all can do final roll call while we're discussing, while we're wrapping everything up. But yeah, just remember, you're in close proximity with people, especially like estheticians. You are right there. If you're giving a facial, you're like right here in my face. Like, you're pretty close. So think about it. If you're breathing on them, like, it's a little weird, you know, like just someone just keeps breathing on me. So maybe estheticians, if you don't have a mint that day or something, you could wear a mask. So that way, you know, you're not breathing on them and they don't feel your breath, you know, that could be a good solution. So if you want to comment too, while we're wrapping things up, you know, some tips that you guys have seen, some tips that you guys know. The Vicks Vapor Rub has saved me, so. Monica said we can always use a face mask during facials. Yeah, you can. You can use a face mask if you're the one giving a facial, not if you're getting a facial. So if you're giving a facial, you can always wear a face mask. Just so that way you're not breathing on them if you have to get close. Even for eyelash extensions or brow tinting, you know how some people like to get really close whenever they're focusing on something. So they usually wear a mask so that way they're not breathing on you. So yeah, love that stuff. Well, it is 1 o'clock. Make sure that you do final roll call, first name, last name, school, and time. Thank you guys for discussing this worksheet with me, and thank you so much for your participation. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget, you have a live with Kim from the 2 to 4. So we will see y'all at 2. Bye, everyone.